Lydia here with Harrison Sloan's CAD and BIM Management Consulting. And today I'm going to show you how to create blocks with visibility states. In my last video, we created a block that had visibility states that were categorized. And this video is much simpler. We're just going to create a block with visibility states. Very simple, not as many categories as the last block. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here we go. In this block, I have different graphics. I have a vanity sink and I have a double vanity sink. I have a pedestal sink and a toilet, shower, and a shower and bath combo. And basically, instead of having six different blocks, I'm going to create one block called bathroom fixtures. And then I'm going to put visibility states and a couple of rotation parameters within that block. Uh, and then my drafting staff will just be able to drop in one block and have all the fixtures they need for a bathroom. So let's go. I'm going to pop in block. And I'm going to name this a very simple name. Say BR fixtures. I'm going to leave my pick point at 0, 0, and then I'm just going to select all my objects. Okay. All right, so now CAD goes into the block editor. Now there's a couple of things I want to add, a couple of rotation parameters that will allow using the different visibility that will allow using this block a little simpler. So let's add our rotation parameters. So here on the authoring palette, if yours doesn't automatically pop open, hit this button up here that says authoring parameters. And I'm going to go to my parameter sets. I'm going to add a rotation set. And I want the sink to rotate at the center point of the drain. I think that's a great point. Gonna add my radius and then my angle and then the location of my label. And I'm literally just doing that by entering through those sequence of questions. So now I have the parameter action. I need to add the selection to it. So when the drafter selects this rotation parameter, what graphics do I want to rotate? I want all of the sinks to rotate, and that'll make a little bit sense later. But for now, just follow the process. I'm going to say I want all of the sinks to rotate when that happens. So I'm going to choose new selection. So I'm going to right click on that parameter now, and I say new selection, and I'm going to add all those sinks graphics. Now, I want the toilets to rotate also in the shower, but I don't want to add them to this rotation parameter because once we're done with this block, the uh, center point for the toilet is going to be different than the sink. So I'm going to give the toilet and the shower and the tub their its own rotation parameter. So let's do this again. Say rotation parameter, and I'm going to pick right in the center point of that line is a good place. And the radius, pretty good radius. I want a base rotation angle. And this is, I want the toilet to rotate there. I'll do that again for the tub. I'll take the drain point, the radius. Okay. And do this again here for that was a shower. This is the shower tub combo rotation. I choose the center point of that drain, give it a pretty good radius. My base angle, I'm gonna enter through that. And my label location. I like my label right there, so I'll choose that location. Okay, so now I have my graphics along with their rotation parameters. Now I want to add my visibility set. I'm gonna come here back to my authoring palette. I'm gonna add my visibility set, and I want the label right here. And this will make sense again to the end, towards the end. Now I want to add my different states. So I want to come up here to this panel up here that says visibility state, and I want to start adding them. So I'm going to call the first one vanity, and I want a new one for a double vanity. Then I got my pedestal. And we have our toilet, shower, and I have my shower tub combo. Okay, I'm gonna set my vanity current. Okay, now I want to go in and begin to show things in this visibility state and eliminate things from the visibility state. So I have my vanity set. So when I see my vanity, I'm going to choose this graphic here, this icon that says make visible. I want to make the vanity visible and its rotation parameter, and then parameter visible, and then everything else I don't want to see. So I'm going to choose this one, the dash one that says make invisible. And I'm going to choose everything I want to make invisible. Okay. Now I'm just going to go down the line and do this again. For my double vanity, you can, if you're not a point and click person, you can say BV hide or BV show. Basically do the same things. And then I'm going to grab my double vanity and that rotation parameter. And then you could say current. It's going to ask you for what, say current. I want to see in current. And then BV hide. So if you're not a point and clicker and you rather type, you can do that as well. Then I'm going to grab all the objects that I want to hide. And I want to be a little bit tricky because I want that parameter, but I don't want the sync. So I'm going to hide it for now. And then say current. There we go. Now I need to go back and get that visibility parameter. So I'm going to do this one that shows them both. So basically it's going to show you what's visible in this visibility state will be dark, and what not will be grayed back. And I can go back and then grab this parameter because I really want that one to show. Okay, so now I'm just going to rinse and repeat. So I got my pedestal. I want to see my pedestal and the parameter. And then I don't want to see any of the other graphics. I'll select those to hide. Okay. And rinse and repeat. Move down to my toilet and do the same thing. Show the toilet and its parameter. Hide everything else. Okay. Shower. I want to see the shower and its parameter. And then I want to hide everything else. And then the shower combo, I want it and its parameter. And then I want to hide everything else. Now, the last thing I want to make sure is that my visibility state parameter is showing in all of the visibility states. So I want to grab that and I want to say VB show to make sure that it's showing up and choose all. Okay. Now I'll do a quick check here. I got my vanity. I got my double vanity. I got my pedestal. And look, the vanity is still showing, so I didn't clean that out. And then also the parameter is not showing, and I want that rotation parameter to show. Okay. I'm going to put that back where I don't see it. Good. So I got my pedestal, and then my toilet, shower, and the shower tub combo. So now I want to go into test mode and test my rotation parameters. So I'm going to test the block. Now we're in test mode. So this is what our drafters will see. They'll see a visibility set. And when they choose vanity, they have vanity. If they choose, click on that little dot, the vanity will rotate. You got that same thing happening with your double vanities. My rotation parameters working correctly. Pedestal sync. Yes, rotating correctly. Okay. Toilet. Click on this toilet button. Rotation, it will rotate correctly. Okay. All right. Shower and shower tub. So everything is showing up and rotating correctly. Now I'll go finish up this block because obviously we don't want the graphics to be spread across the screen like this. So now I'm gonna go back, turn them all where I can see them. Now what I'm going to do is move these graphics, my insertion points for my graphics. I'm going to move them to the 0,0 insertion point. So I want the sync drains to be where the drafter clicks on and it comes in with your drain, where it can line up the drain, the center of the sink. So I'm going to move all of these to the center point to 0,0. So the sinks are going to stack on top of each other nicely, which is why they were able to use the same rotation parameter. Okay. And then I have my toilet. I want it to click in, drop in on the edge of that wall. I'll move that to 0,0. I'm going to move my tubs, my shower center point to 0,0. And center point of my, oh, sorry about that, tub drain to 0,0. Okay. Now everything is stacked on each other, which is what you want, because when the drafter is dropping in the block and flipping through the visibility states, you don't want the graphics to be all over the place. You want them to be in that same spot. So once you have your parameters the way you want them and it's functioning properly, then go ahead and stack your graphics. But it's easier to work with them when you're creating them, to work with them spread out and separate. Now they're stacked. I'm gonna go into test mode one more time and take a look at this block. So here we go. Things moving properly, right on top of each other. As I cycle through my things, that's what I want to see. My visibility label is a little high. I'll move that. Yeah, let's move it a little bit. About right here. I think it's a nice place. Let's go back and test that. Yeah, that's better. And let's close the block tester. Save your block. And now in the drafters, insert this one block. They have all the graphics for the bathroom in one block. So visibility state, very simple, very basic part of creating dynamic blocks. But I did promise you the video after the other more complicated one. So there it is. And then stay tuned for the end of this video where you'll see how to contact me for your free CAD consulting.